The Kodiaq is Škoda's first full-sized SUV, a 7-seater SUV, and at almost 35 lakh rupees, it is also the most expensive Škoda you can buy in India. That's of course before you factor in the cost of insurance, road tax and registration, which then takes the price to nearly 42 lakhs. Now that's an expensive proposition. Now as far as product briefs go, the Kodiaq is more of a Ford Endeavour and Toyota Fortuner challenger. But then when you factor in the price, you would end up comparing it against SUVs from Audis and Mercedes. And that probably is the biggest challenge that the Kodiaq faces. Now I'm also told that it is a very smart car and that it has a few aces up its sleeves. Aces that give it a distinct advantage. And that's what we're here to find out. But let's get the basics out of the way first. And the good news is, the Kodiaq has the prerequisite 40 lakh rupee car feature list. There's a nice looking, rich to the touch and easy to operate touchscreen system, a multifunctional steering wheel that's intuitive to use, a 3-zone climate control, a panoramic sunroof to get that airy feel. There's also lots of thoughtfully designed storage options, including a cooled glove box. And if both you and the wife drive, the Kodiaq also gets power seats with memory function. So that's one less reason to argue. Then there's the list of safety features, 9 airbags, ESP, ABS, fatigue alert and a whole lot more, which we recommend you check out at carvale.com. In terms of space, there's enough and more at the front, plus the seats are large and comfy. The second row is equally comfy and comes with recline and fore and after adjustability. The last row though is a struggle. It is difficult to get in, and once inside, it feels claustrophobic, and I'm not even a big guy. Oh, and lest I forget, there's auto park on the Kodiaq as well. Now if you want to know more about how it works and what it exactly does, you should check out our Octavia RS video, link up there. But that's not where the feature list ends, because the Kodiaq has some really interesting smart features. Come, we'll take you through it. First up, you got a dustbin. That's my leftover from my breakfast. And now, so instead of you throwing it around, lying it around, just put it in and you're done. Very sensible. Secondly, you get an adjustable cup holder of sorts. If you're having coffee, use this side. If you just want to use your phone, you can just flip it and put it. Very smart. And then you've got a voice enhancer. So you've got a mic here. Every time you talk, your voice is relayed via the speakers at the back to the passengers, right? So you don't have to scream, you don't have to shout, you just mention it and it goes. Thankfully, it doesn't work the other way around. So you're not getting involved in all the boring gossip that's going at the back. So that's great. Now, at the back, you see this strip? It's a very intelligent thing. Pop in, pop out. Pop in, pop out. So essentially, when you open the door, if you're clumsy, into a wall or another car, your paint doesn't get damaged. That's again very smart. And then inside, you get a pillow. Now it's a 40 lakh rupee car, so you expect a pillow, so that's great. Additionally, you get some blankets, and it's all part of the car. So if you're feeling cold, you want to sleep for some time in the car, recline your backrest, use the blanket, works. But the most interesting part at the back, if you love sleeping in the car, are these tusks, like things that come down from the headrest, right? So you can just put your head back and go to sleep, and all the rocking is taken care of by this. So if you're a drooler, chances are you won't drool into somebody else's lap, you'll just do it on yourself. Gross, I know, but again, works. And then when you come back, you've got a hands-free boot opening. So essentially, you need to kick it and it opens. Wow, I mean, it's worked the first time. Generally, it takes some time, but great. I mean, it's very convenient if your hands are full of luggage, that really works. And then when you come inside, you've got this interesting looking magnetic torchlight. You can stick it to the car if you want, or you could use it for camping. Put it on, put it off, simple. And when it goes back, it works as a boot light. Now let's see if it closes as well. Okay, I need more practice on that. But come, There's another interesting feature, a very Škoda feature if you like, which is the umbrella holder. Now, okay, there's no umbrella in this, I guess. Monsoons are over, Škoda decided we might not need one, so it's not there, but it's a good thing and the water drains down. So some of the great features, smart features, whatever you call it, aces up the Kodiaq sleeves, they're there. And that makes this car very different and more interesting than what the competition is. Now let's talk about the guts of the car. Now the Kodiaq is powered by a 4-cylinder 2-litre diesel. It's a diesel engine that we've seen in various guises in various Volkswagens. It's a tried and tested engine, reliable, and this one makes 150 horsepower. It's made it to a quick shifting 7-speed automatic, dual clutch automatic. And then the Kodiaq also carries a 4x4 battery. But that 4x4 isn't your old school traditional setup. It's a more electronic setup. So the car is primarily front wheel driven, but when it loses traction, that's when a clutch hurls the rear axle into play, and then it adds traction and stability. It essentially works when the going gets slippery. Now all that we've read, all that we've heard, now it's time to see how that really translates on the road. Now the first thing that strikes you about the Kodiaq is how good the visibility is. And then when you couple that to a great driving position that comes from completely adjustable seat and steering wheel, you've got a car that you can live with comfortably in the city. Even though it's big and tall, you can still drive it comfortably. The other thing that really works well for the Kodiaq in the city is the steering. It's light and it's quick, so it's effortless to just put it through gaps within the city, and when you want to park, it doesn't require too many turns lock to lock, so reduces the amount of effort and the tiredness that involves driving a big car like this in the city. So that's another plus. The third big plus for the Kodiaq when it comes to driving is its highway manners. It's calm, it's composed, and it's quiet. So you can spend hours just driving this car from city to city or state to state, and you just won't get tired. Now the things that I don't like about the Kodiaq when it comes to driving, one of them is the steering feel, especially when you want to drive it aggressively around a switchback. The other thing is that this is a long and heavy car. So if you're making long corners, sweeping corners, you probably won't be able to tell. But when you get to a tight switchback situation and you want to hustle the car from one corner to the other, that's when you can feel the way the car rolls. The front and the rear seem to do different things. The rear comes along into the party a little late, and then your ESP is constantly working, which is good because otherwise it will require a decent amount of skill to be able to control all that heft going from side to side. It's got 5 driving modes. It starts with Eco, then you've got the urban driving mode, sport, individual, and snow. Snow, of course, we probably won't be getting. But Eco is all about fuel economy, so it dulls down the response of the engine, it dulls down the response of the gearbox. The throttle response is, of course, dulled down again. But as you move towards sport, then it gets better, it gets sharper. But what about off-roading? Kodiaq is a 4x4 after all. Well, it has the clearance, but if you look at its long wheelbase and the overhangs, I don't think it can do as serious off-roading as, let's say, the Endeavour or the Fortuner. But if you find yourself on an open trail like this, then the Kodiaq can actually be fun. The 4x4 is an intelligent system, so it knows how much power to give to keep the traction going, just to keep you safe and grounded. So it is true, the Kodiaq does have a few aces up its sleeve. Having just one version on sale isn't one of them, of course. It seems Škoda has taken the famous Henry Ford quote a bit too seriously. The quote says, "You can have the Model T in any color you like, as long as it is black." But the Kodiaq, of course, is a whole lot more, given you can only buy it in the highest spec level. So, it is spacious, it has some truly smart features, some of which I really love. It's got all the comfort, convenience and safety feature boxes ticked, and though it's not exactly an involving or extraordinary car to drive, it is convenient and usable. But what if you needed a car for a very specific purpose? Let's say you wanted a car for just 4 people, or you wanted a car that would take you to work and bring you back in utmost comfort. Maybe you wanted something that would be really genuinely good off-road, or something that really looked outstanding, caught you the attention. Well, the Kodiaq can do all of that, but it doesn't do all of that really well, right? It's a jack of all trades, if you like. So it's very versatile, and that's probably the biggest USP of the car. Lots to like on this car. For this price, is it the car to buy? Maybe not. But if you buy it, I'm sure you'll be happy with it. Now the Kodiaq's a very nice car, but it didn't exactly blow my mind. But if you think differently, do comment and let me know why. And if you're at it, subscribe and share. It's always good to get the word out there.